I'm Mike. Welcome back to the A&M podcast. You might notice a little bit, if you're watching us on Spotify or YouTube, you're going to notice our location is a little different. We decided this would be a more fun location. So,
And if you listen to our last episode, we talked about how much we want to put up the Christmas tree, and that inspired him to
we're,
his Christmas
we're
tree.
somewhere between because we still got fall leaves on the mantle here. But
It's like very
yeah,
festive. It's all around. It's all. We also have a hot fire going behind us.
also wearing
Yeah,
wearing the
wearing
Christmas plaid. So,
the Christmas plaid. I should have worn
yeah.
mine too.
Yeah.
I just put on regular sweatpants.
So, kind of fun fact about the podcast. We are in 8 countries. 8 countries now.
Eh,
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the United States. Yeah, 8 countries. Let me see if I can figure out how many states in the U.S. we're in because we're in a bunch of U.S. states too, and we won't um, we won't do it right now. But what we're going to do is go through some fun facts
Ooh.
about each of these countries that we're in. But we're also in a bunch of U.S. states too, as well.
And we
Not
love
all
a
of
good
them yet,
fun
but
fact.
yeah. So, um, hence the reason I've got my MacBook sitting here on my lap. In case, for those of you who were wondering.
No, he's actually playing The Sims.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
let him fool you.
I'm doing homework while we're. So there's that.
He's a multitasker.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
All right.
anyways.
So yeah. Sorry about that awkward pause. So as far as the countries that we're in, we are in the United States. Obviously, we're in India. We're in
Hmm.
Mexico, Germany, Canada, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Indonesia. So we're gonna go through some fun facts about each of those countries. And if you're in one of those countries and you're listening to us, give
Say
us a shout
hi.
out. Yeah, somewhere.
Say hi and tell a friend because the percentages, they're a little low.
Yeah.
Like, tell
Well,
your friends, tell your
it could
family.
be that you know people are just tuning in because they're curious, but hey, it's still kind of neat that they're in all
Even
those places.
listening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
So that somehow they found us.
Right?
Um, all right. So the fun facts I have for India. uh, India is the world's largest producer and exporter of spices. That's interesting.
Oh, that makes sense because
Yeah,
I feel
it
like
does.
they do use a lot of spices with their food.
Right. That's true.
Anytime
That's true.
we've ever looked up how to make any of their recipes, it's always like,
Yeah. Yeah. And it always seems to be like spices that unless you make Indian food a lot, you don't necessarily have. So
yeah,
they're very exotic
it's
spices.
not like garlic powder and Italian seasoning.
Yeah, no. Although those, well, probably not the Italian seasoning.
I
That'd
think
be
they use
weird.
real garlic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Let's see the population. India's population is growing rapidly with over 15 million new births each year. So that's incredible, actually.
15
15
million?
million. The
Mm,
Taj Mahal is a tomb, not a palace, and is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's a tomb. Ooh,
a tomb,
yeah,
like
like people are buried in it.
mummified dead bodies in
Yeah,
it.
I can only assume whether or not they're mummified. Let's see.
No, they are mummified. That's my fact.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't
We'll
know
check. We'll check that later. The village of, and I'm probably butchering this name, so pardon me for that. The village of. Oh wow.
that.
We're just gonna skip that fun fact. Anyway,
We'll
this
put it on
village.
add it to the
Yeah,
screen or
I'll
something.
put it on the bottom of the screen. Yep. It's spelled Mawsynram in the state of, oh boy, Meg Megthalia. Megthalia
Thalia, just say
is
pass
the
Thalia.
wettest place on Earth with an average annual rainfall of 11,873 millimeters.
How many is that in inches
I don't know.
or
I'd
feet?
I'd ask Google, but
Yeah, we don't want to
Google
get that
ignores me
started.
sometimes. So yeah. Let's see.
Millimeters.
The Charlie Cricket Ground is the world's highest cricket ground, built in 1893 at an elevation of 7,500 feet above sea level. So, for those people who are cricket fans,
Oh, that sounds terrible. I wonder if they're like the crickets that we have here.
no,
The big ugly ones.
cricket is a sport.
Oh. I'm dying. Cut that out.
Nope, definitely leaving that in. Matter of fact,
Cricket is a
I expect to
sport.
see a highlight of that posted somewhere.
I was
Cricket
thinking
is it's like a it's a
it's
a
like
sport
lacrosse.
similar to
It's like
no,
lacrosse.
it's similar to baseball, really. Similar, except they use the bat they use is different. I think they play it in England too.
When you want to be a know-it-all so bad.
Right. That would see that there you did the thing that I say. You had a fact that you thought was a fact
Big
that
ugly
wasn't. It was just
crickets
something you
like
said. So there we are. Uh,
Oh
the
my gosh, so
Jantar
embarrassing.
Mantar in Jaipur is home of the Samrat Yantra, the world's largest stone sundial. Wow. Why would you make a sundial that? Like I'm thinking about a sundial, right? And you have to look at it from overhead to see what time it is, right? So if you make it
Overhead.
I think so, yeah. So if you make it too large, nobody can.
It's
It's
taking up a lot of
useless,
space,
and it's
yeah, for no
useless because
reason.
how are you gonna?
Who
Anyway.
uses a sundial anymore anyways?
Anyway, cows. This one I think everyone knows. Cows are a sacred animal in India, and are worshipped alongside gods.
I think I heard that at some point.
Yeah.
Something about like cows. So they don't eat
I wonder.
cows.
I'm not gonna say I think. I'm gonna say this as a question. I wonder if that's where the term "holy cow" comes from.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
So they probably
Also, does that mean that they're Chick-fil-A fans? Because
Chick-fil-A's
the
anti.
Chick-fil-A cows want you to eat more chicken.
True.
Snakes and ladders. The game of snakes and ladders originated in ancient India as Moksha Patam. Snakes and ladders. So that's all our facts for India. So
That's not the same game that we play in America.
yeah, I'm
right?
trying to think. Snakes and
Hooks
ladders.
and
I've heard
ladders, isn't it?
Shoots and ladders.
Shoots and
right?
ladders, right?
Maybe they made it. Maybe they. I don't know.
What is
I'll have to
shoots
look
and
that up
ladders?
later. If anybody knows, comment.
Snakes and ladders. They got me thinking I
Mexico.
thought it wrong.
So the next country on here is Mexico. Mexico, chocolate. The Olmec and Mayan civilizations discovered cocoa plants in ancient Mesoamerica, where chocolate originated. So that's. So I guess we can thank Mexico for chocolate.
Wow, I thought chocolate was from Europe.
Yeah, I would have thought that too, probably.
Cause of Belgian chocolate.
Yeah, or Swiss chocolate too.
Or
I know.
Swiss.
Or
I heard chocolate.
or Hershey.
I heard that chocolate over in Europe it tastes like noticeably
Different.
better than
Probably.
the U.S.
It's like a lot of things over in Europe.
Like less acidic and stuff than how
yeah,
the U.S. makes
I
it.
could believe that. Pyramids. Mexico has more pyramids than Egypt. That's interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Egypt's known for their.
Yeah, I mean, you think if that was a trivia question, if somebody asked you, what country has the most pyramids, you'd probably be like, well, duh, Egypt.
I would probably say Mexico because I would think that I was trying.
You would
to
think
be
it was a trick? Well,
yeah, like
there you
no
go.
way is it this easy.
Wait, you'd be Color TV. Guillermo Gonzalez Camarena, a Mexican from Guadalajara, I think that's what it is,
Yeah, that's
invented color television. Wow.
Oh, I didn't know it was
Thank you,
Mexico.
Thank you, Guillermo,
Thank you, Guillermo.
for color television.
Wow, selfishly just thinking that
Yeah.
the U.S. just does it all.
Yeah, I know, right? That's because we're Americans and we assume things.
We think we are the best.
We assume we know
We're not.
things and we don't.
Me.
Dinosaurs. The last dinosaur died after a meteor struck the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Wow.
The last
So the
dinosaur?
last one is that saying that the last one was in the Yucatan Peninsula?
I wonder how they know that.
And honestly, how do they know that?
How do
right?
they know that?
Well, we did carbon dating and.
No.
But how do you know that? Anyway.
I'm not gonna try and act like I'm smarter than somebody that studies that stuff, but.
Right. Yeah,
But all I'm saying is I
that's
have some
questionable.
questions.
Right, that's
I have some
questionable. That may be a questionable fact right there. Volcanoes, the world's smallest volcano, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, is located in Puebla, Mexico.
The smallest
The
one?
smallest one. You always hear
Aw.
about the biggest of things, but never the smallest. I'd like to know how big is it? Is it like this tall?
Right, like a little
Just
anthill, like
yeah,
an anthill,
just
like type
every now
of
and then spews out some lava.
adorable.
Yeah, I want to look into that now. Mexico City has the second most museums in the world after London. So I guess London has the most museums. Maybe that'll be a fun fact later in London. Otherwise, it was just a bonus one, or in the UK. Let's see. Languages. Mexico has 68 recognized languages, most of which are indigenous. So now I wonder when they say
Silly
68, is it like 68 dialects of Spanish, or is it 68 languages and some of them are dialect? I don't know. That's interesting. Again, I'd like to know more, but
Yeah, I wonder
my
if they count.
my little fact sheet that I'm using did not give me more. So
I wonder if they do count dialects as like
that's
would you just
languages.
count like with Spanish you have the
Yeah,
different dialects of Spanish like
yeah,
Spain
yeah,
Spanish, Puerto Rican
right,
Spanish,
right,
Mexican Spanish. I
right,
wouldn't count that as like three different languages. I
right,
would just count that as one language.
right. They're
But
just
maybe they count it
but
as
because to me that would be like in America counting like people with a Southern accent and people with a New York accent as two different languages. It's
mhm.
not.
It's true.
Okay, let's see. Coral reef. Mexico is home of the world's second largest coral reef. So they got the second most museums and the second largest coral reef.
Come
Come
on,
on, Mexico,
Mexico.
try harder.
You're better than that. And the smallest volcano.
Yeah. So they kind of won that, I guess. Is that
Just
the
kidding, Mexico.
only if the
Keep
yeah,
listening to us.
that's right.
You
That's
got
right.
this.
We're not we're laughing with you.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Mexico has 35 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. That's
Mm.
interesting. So there you go. Uh, Mexico City is built on an ancient lake bed and is slowly sinking. Ooh.
I feel like a lot of places are doing that
Yeah, well,
nowadays.
yeah,
You
Venice,
know? Yeah, the ground is tired.
the crown is tired.
You know
Uh,
what? I wonder if they have a lot of cruise ships because this is a fun fact that's actually true. You can fact check me on it. They say I saw a TikTok on it. That's how I know it's true. So I heard that the reason that one of the reasons that Venice is sinking is because the cruise ships that come in are literally like, I guess, messing with the textiles of the ground and the water around
oh,
it. Like the cruise ships are almost misplacing the water, which is messing up the ground. And then,
wow.
so I wonder if in Mexico it's kind of a similar
Could be. Yeah.
situation because I know in general Mexico has a lot of cruise ships that come in and out
Oh
of their
yeah.
ports there.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Mexico has the largest university in Latin America,
Love that.
and the Day of the Dead, uh, La, La, ugh, La, why I have serious problems speaking.
I
La
can't see.
Catrina, a character from the Day of the Dead, was created as a satire.
Mm, a joke.
Yeah. And now we move on to the motherland, Germany.
Germany. We get this scene in.
Yeah. I
Did I
don't
say it
know.
right?
I can only assume since I don't
Chris says it all the
actually
time.
speak German.
Chris says it, so I'm just, repeating him. He'd probably
Yeah.
say I said it wrong.
Guten Tag,
Oh, he says
which I
that
think
one
is a
too.
good day. And at the end of the podcast, I can say Guten Nacht because then it's good night.
Oh.
Okay, German is a Germanic language with a complex history. I guess that's about the language. It doesn't tell me much about that complex history. It just
It's
says
just,
that it has one.
it just it sounds like I'm
It's like
talking about
somebody,
Germany.
yeah, yeah. It's
It
like
sounds like something I'd say.
uh,
It's
bread.
complicated.
Germans love bread and its many varieties, and
Yeah, we
UNESCO
do.
recognizes this as an important part of German culture.
Mm,
Huh, interesting.
that makes sense.
Germany has over 7,500 beer brands, and at least one new beer is launched each week. Again, huh?
7,500
Yeah,
beer
it seems
brands.
like there should be a correlation there between the bread and the beer, since they share common ingredients.
In our next episode, guys, we'll be going through all 7,500
Yeah, we'll
of
be
the beer
sampling
brands.
each, and since there's a new one launched each week, depending on how long from now that is, there may
With
be more
bread. With
with
bread.
some bread. Oh, Berlin has more bridges than Venice. Venice has a lot of bridges, so that's
Mm,
interesting. But it doesn't tell me how many it has, though. But it has more.
wonder what they define
So
as a bridge
try
though.
harder, Venice.
Try harder.
The Autobahn, about 60% of German Autobahns have speed limits, huh? Or
I
variable
thought
speed controls.
I
So
thought the
how
whole
about
point
that?
of an autobahn was to not it was
Well, I guess
literally
this
no
is
speed
saying
limit.
that 60% of it has speed limits. So
I wonder what the speed limits are if
it
they're
also
like
says
still high.
Autobahns. So I don't know.
Like, do you think the
I
autobahn
need
speed
more
limit?
information on this.
Do you think it's still high? Like, do you think the
Well,
speed limit's still
yeah,
like
it says has,
90?
yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It has speed limits or variable speed control. So maybe they have roads where it's like, okay, it's really like crowded now, so we don't want people trying to go, 200 miles an hour. So
They're all out there with those fast German
Oktoberfest.
cars.
The name Oktoberfest is misleading because most of the festival takes place in September.
That
It's
sounds like a trivia question
Yeah,
we've
it
had
does.
before.
Yeah, I think so. We've discussed that before, but I, it kind of makes sense because like we celebrate Christmas going up to Christmas. So like Oktoberfest, we're celebrating October before October's here.
True.
Also, most of the beer companies over here release their Oktoberfest beer sometime in like August, I feel
Yeah,
like.
that makes sense.
So,
Like when we celebrate Christmas,
yeah.
like weeks in advance, they'll have like
Yeah.
parades
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
The Cologne Cathedral is the largest Gothic church in Northern Europe and the largest church facade in the world.
Oh my goodness.
That's one thing. When we were over in Europe, um, in Italy, and it was mostly in Italy, but just the different parts of Italy,
Hmm.
the churches, the buildings, uh, you know, they were some of them were so. I mean, you've seen some of the pictures, but they're so ornate and huge. It's amazing.
I
And
think
then when
it's
you
really crazy how they last for so long.
Oh yeah. Like there are buildings there are buildings over there that are older like than any building in the
Hmm.
United States. When you think about that, it's just
Oh
mind-blowing.
yeah, that is crazy. Especially since here, you'll
Punctuality. Germans are known for being punctual. I can attest to that cuz generally if I have a call, well, I work for a company that's headquartered in Germany. If I have a call with one of the German partners, I know I can't be like, and I'm not usually late anyway, but
hmm
because the heritage, but they're usually right on time. It's very unusual to be on a call with somebody over there and them not be
and
like
they're
right
like
there.
late for a call.
Yeah, somebody had told me
Oh.
like if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late in that
Oh, and that's
in
also
that
why they
culture.
schedule their call ends
That's exactly
so
why.
many
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
early
Like our
too.
calls will always run till, instead of running till 30 minutes after, they'll run to 25 minutes after because it gives you some wiggle room to if you have another call after that.
That's why they're
Which is
never late.
genius, by the way. I love that. I
Hmm.
love that because there's nothing that frustrates me more than when somebody schedules a call with me and I get on the call and then they're 5 minutes late because now I've wasted 5 minutes of my time. And if I have another call now and we have what we need to discuss is going to take the whole
Hmm.
time. Now I'm going to be 5 minutes late for my next call.
Hmm.
So yeah, I like that. Uh,
Good
let's
job,
see. Good
Germans.
job, Germany. All right, keep it up. Sustainability. Germany is a leader in sustainability and has ambitious green energy goals. And Germany has an effective bottle deposit scheme. I don't know what that means. Called Bland. Fand. I don't know what that means. That's talking
Okay.
about recycling. So it's a And also, these are supposed to be fun facts, and that's not all that fun.
It's not
It's
that
interesting.
fun.
It's just not all that fun.
Yeah, it's not that fun.
This one, the tradition of decorating Christmas trees originated in Germany. And
I
I think
think I
they
knew
call it a
that.
Tannenbaum. I think that's where that.
Tenenbaum.
Yeah. Anyway,
Were you about to start
yeah,
singing
I
it?
was because oh Christmas we sing oh Christmas tree, but it's oh Tannenbaum.
You should start singing that on one of your calls with
I
them one
will. I
time.
will. I will. I'll do that.
Or have it playing softly in the
Yeah,
background.
that would be good. Volkswagen Beetle and Fanta. The Volkswagen Beetle and the Volkswagen Beetle and Fanta are legacies of World War II,
Fanta like the drink?
I guess. Which
No way. They weren't drinking
I
Fanta.
mean, I don't know.
No way.
It's interesting though.
I'm gonna Google the actual drink
Check that
Fanta.
out. Yeah.
Maybe Fanta's like a car or something.
And the printing press and MP3 technology originated in Germany and were invented in Germany.
Printing press
Which
and
makes sense
MP3
because this
technology.
Gutenberg, right, was the guy who invented the printing press, I think. That
Oh, I
could
didn't
be
know
a wrong
that.
fact. Okay, now we're moving on to our neighbor to the north, Canada.
The thing is, when you say your incorrect facts, you sound so confident and
Yeah,
correct when you
yeah,
say them.
yep. That's because I believe them, and then I real no, that's because I believe it to be true. But then I realize, wait, why do I know
Why do I
that?
know
Like, and then I go, maybe that's not right.
that?
So, because it's when you have knowledge, but you have no idea where you got the knowledge that I question.
Like somebody could tell you something so random, you'll
Yeah,
believe them, and that's
yeah,
how the game of telephone started.
yeah, exactly. Okay, we're moving on to Canada.
Canada, eh?
Let's see, the world's longest coastline. Canada has the longest coastline of any country in the world, stretching for over 202,080 kilometers, 125,570 miles for those of you in the United States and
100
who
and
don't know
yeah.
what a kilometer
Yeah,
is.
I was gonna say.
125,000 miles.
Mm,
It borders three oceans: the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Arctic. That's interesting. Politeness is key. Canadians are famous for their politeness.
I've heard
The
that
word
before.
sorry is so commonly used that in Ontario there is even a law called the Apology Act, which states that an apology can't be used as an admission of guilt in court.
That's adorable.
Yeah, kind of.
The
Ah,
apology law.
well, I don't. Oh, okay. The home of Santa Claus. Canada claims the North Pole as part of its territory, and every year thousands of letters to Santa are sent to the Canadian Postal Code. Ho ho ho! It's HOHOHO, where volunteers respond to kids all over the world. That's that's wonderful.
That's
Although my
adorable.
problem with that is, I mean, shouldn't those be going to Santa Claus, and
They
shouldn't he be
should.
responding to them?
Why are the
Why is
volunteers?
Canada interrupting that
Yeah,
process?
I agree.
Someone needs to look into that. Let's see, the largest population of lakes. Canada has more lakes than any other country in the world. In fact, around 60% of the world's lakes are in Canada, including the massive Great Lakes it shares with the U.S. So it only gets part of those. It doesn't get to claim all of those. We share custody of those lakes. Maple syrup central. Canada produces over 70% of the world's maple syrup, with the majority coming from Quebec.
Quebec.
Quebec. They even have a strategic maple syrup reserve to keep prices stable in case of sabotage.
Canadians love their maple
Yeah,
syrup.
well, I wonder where they store that strategic reserve. Is it in like a secret?
Underground,
It's
yeah.
probably at a secret location under the North Pole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
True. There's not toys down there.
It's
It's
just
just
well,
maple
it's
syrup.
next to the toys. They keep it with the toys because Santa guards it.
I would like to try maple syrup from there.
Yeah,
I want
we
to.
had no we had some. I think
When? How did you get syrup?
didn't I'm gonna name drop. Didn't Nicole go there and bring some back? I think we had like a little bottle that was like this big of maple syrup. It was even shaped like a maple leaf that was
Oh,
from
you
Canada.
might have. I never tried
We
it.
saw it when we were in the airport up there.
I want to
Little
try
bottles of it.
maple syrup from Canada, like side by side to
If you're
like.
in Canada, send us maple syrup.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work, but
Yeah. That's all we want from there.
yeah.
We just
Um,
want the maple syrup.
let's see. National animal. Canada's national animal is the beaver, chosen for its historic importance
That's
in the fur
adorable.
trade.
Canada just sounds so
I know
cute.
yeah.
They have the apology law, maple syrup, and
They got
beavers. Like they just
and apparently Santa lives there.
and Santa lives there. Like,
Let's
come
see.
on.
Wow, this one's shocking. This one is shocking. The inventor of Hawaiian pizza. Believe it or not, the popular Hawaiian pizza with pineapple and ham was created in Canada. By a Canada restaurateur named Sam Panopoulos, which sounds Greek.
Sampanopoulos.
Sam Panopoulos. It sounds Greek and made up at the same time. Uh, in the 1960s in Ontario. So was the ham or was it Canadian bacon?
mm,
Because I think Canadian bacon is the same thing as ham.
I like
And if I'm wrong, someone correct me.
I like chicken and pineapple. We already went over that though.
Oh,
I
see,
think in
how
one
about
of our
this?
early episodes.
A and the metric system. Canadians commonly use A in conversation. A spelled EH, so like
Oh,
want some Hawaiian pizza, eh? Like
I
that.
see EH as
No, it's
You
A.
want some Canadian?
It's
You
A.
want some pizza?
Often,
A is
often as a
AY.
tag question, like saying right. Yeah, okay. So it's like, you know, trying to think of one of their hockey teams. Anyway,
Maple
also
Leafs.
Canada
Isn't
uses
there
the
like the
metric
Maple
system,
Leafs or
so
something?
distances are measured in kilometers and temperatures in Celsius. Well, that I think we all knew that. I think the U.S. is the only ones that use the uh, what's it referred to as? What's our system referred to as? I'm having
I don't know.
yeah brain
The
moment.
right one? Like
Yeah, the correct system. Yeah, that's right. It's called the correct system.
I know they do make fun of us though for
Yeah,
using that. I don't know why
it's
though.
okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
there was a Saturday Night Live skit recently where it was like George Washington talking about how we're going to use our own system of measurement, not like Europe. So, and let's see, smallest
it's just
jail in the
from Europe.
world. So Mexico's got the smallest volcano. Canada has the smallest jail.
That's crazy.
Smallest jail in North America. Well, now the heading says in the world, but then it says in North America. Is located in Ontario, Canada. It was built in 1890 and is just 24.3 square meters, about 270 square feet in
What?
size.
So it's a closet.
Yeah. Well,
200 square
270
feet?
270 square feet. I mean, that's like
200 square feet.
I mean, a 10 by 20 room would be 200 square feet.
So
So
it's a bedroom.
a 10 by 27 room would be that would be like that would be a big bedroom, 10 by 27. Anyway,
What do you think this room is? Probably 10 by 27.
this room's probably
Bigger.
about 15, about 20 by 20 maybe. So this would be like 400 square feet.
Jeez.
Bilingual country. Canada has two official languages, English and French. The province of Quebec is particularly known for the French-speaking majority, but French is widely spoken across the country. That was an interesting thing when we flew Air Canada. Um, all of the like announcements on the plane,
Mhm.
they would do them in English, but they would do it in French first. So first they do the French announcement, then
Oh.
they do the English announcement. So if I was more energetic on that flight, I would have taken that as an opportunity to learn some French.
At
'Cause-
least like,
yeah,
the only French you would know
yeah,
is how to get out of a
yeah,
plane
yeah, right.
emergency, but
Or where
you
we
know,
were, how
mm,
long we had to land,
put
kind
your
of thing.
seatbelt on.
Okay, now we're going across the Atlantic to the United Kingdom. Home of the oldest royal residence. Windsor Castle is the oldest and largest occupied castle in the world. Built in the 11th century, it's home of the British monarchs for nearly 1,000 years and is still used as a royal residence today. Which is crazy because, again, that's been there and it's been there, the residence of the British monarchs,
Mhm.
for longer than the United States has existed. Think about that. Are you thinking about it? Okay.
Longer than the United States has existed.
Yeah, it says for nearly 1,000 years. The United States has only been here for a couple hundred.
That's crazy too.
Yeah. tea time champions. The UK is one of the biggest tea consumers in the world,
Knew that.
right? With average Brit drinking around 100 millions of cup. Wait, 100. This math doesn't sound right. It says with average Brit drinking with the average. I'm sorry. This is written very oddly. So with the average Brit drinking around 100 million cups of tea each day. Now, the way that's written, what that means is that every person in England is drinking 100 million cups a day.
100
I think
million
that's I
cups.
think that's I think what they're trying to say is that on average in Great Britain they drink 100 million cups a day, not the average. It's written poorly. I didn't write this. So
Total people in
total
Britain.
people. That's nearly 36
Not.
million cups a year. 36 billion cups a year. Sorry. Billion with a
It's a lot
B.
of tea. But
That's a
we
lot
drink a
of
lot
tea.
of coffee, so maybe they're
Yeah.
just like, but
Yeah, I think we're
shoot,
winning in the coffee battle.
they're like
Yeah,
pounding
that's why we
teas.
threw all that tea in the Boston Harbor a couple hundred years ago.
We
We were
prefer
like, you know what?
coffee.
Keep it.
Let's see.
Inventors of modern sports. The UK is the birthplace of many popular sports, including soccer, or what they call football, which makes much more sense. But
Mm.
rugby, tennis, cricket, and golf.
The big ones that they
Wimbledon,
have
one
in
of the most
Florida.
prestigious tennis tournaments, is held in London each year. Yeah, those big crickets. Yeah, yeah. The game involves swing at crickets with a large bat. So that's how you play. Um,
Wow, who knew they were so sporty?
a maze of accents. Despite its relatively small size, the UK has an incredible variety of regional accents and dialects. Some estimates say there are more than 30, and even people from different parts of London can have distinct accents. I mean, we have
Mm.
that here, but we're a lot bigger.
I just don't think of them because they already have accents.
Right.
So to think of them having more accents,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, but I know what it's saying. Like different, like pe- people from different parts of the UK, like they all have accents, but they're different. It's like over here. It's like if you talk to somebody from New York or you talk to somebody from Georgia,
mhm.
or they have different accents.
Hmm.
Let's see. I lost my place. Oh, just no. Big Ben isn't the tower. Big Ben actually refers to the bell inside of the famous clock tower in London, not the tower itself. The tower is officially called Elizabeth Tower, renamed in 2012 in honor of Queen Elizabeth II. Interesting. So it's the bell inside the tower. So if you're looking at it and you're saying, "Oh, look, Big Ben," you're talking about the bell.
The bell, not
Also,
the
I think
tower.
wasn't didn't lightning strike that? Oh no, that was Back to the Future. Never mind. Different clock tower.
I never really watched Back to the Future
Yeah.
like all the way through.
You need to watch it so that my jokes make sense to
From
you.
like front to,
Yeah.
yeah. I've
Yeah.
never watched it
All
like
three.
that.
You have to watch all three.
All three? I didn't even know there was three.
Yeah, there was three. They
That's
were good
crazy.
too. They were
That's
good.
kind of, that sounds like overkill.
Yeah.
That should have been on our list on
Stonehenge, a prehistoric monument in Wiltshire, England, is one of the world's most famous ancient sites, dating back to 3000 BC.
I didn't know that was in London,
Well, it's in
England,
Wiltshire. It's not in London. It's
UK.
Wiltshire. I don't know. Despite extensive studies, no one is quite sure how it was built or how the stones were transported.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's also true though.
Yeah. And I mean, well, yeah.
Think of all the equipment
Or
we use now. They just
yeah.
had people
Well,
back
that's
then.
the pyramids are the same thing to me.
Hmm.
And you see all these things that I know they used like slaves and that to do all that work, but even at that, like the size of those
Still a
stones
person doing that, yeah.
and to get them, moved into place to build that shape and have it be engineered so perfectly and all that. I
Hmm.
think there were space aliens involved, but that's a different episode.
With using their ship, their rocket
Yeah,
ship.
yeah, they had their little flying saucer there, and they,
Yeah,
sent down a beam and picked up the stones
that's
and put
true.
them up,
Yeah, no, that makes way
and
more
then they
sense.
told the people there, okay, now when you draw the pictures of this, you can't put our ship on it. You have to just show like a bunch of people did this.
They said you never saw us.
Yeah, we weren't here. Um,
When you draw the picture. I'll just pose out front of it
yeah,
without me in it.
yeah, right. Uh, we weren't supposed to help you with this. You were supposed to do it on your own, so you can't tell anyone. That's what they said.
It'll
Um,
make you look better in the future.
yeah. Uh, let's see, birthplace of Shakespeare. That's not that unusual. The famous playwright William Shakespeare was born in Stratford upon Avon, England, in 1564.
Wow, good for
His
him.
works have had a massive influence on English literature and language, coining hundreds of words and phrases we still use today. Royal ravens at the Tower of London. Legend has it that if the ravens ever leave the Tower of London, the kingdom will fall. To prevent this, at least 6 ravens are kept there at all times, and they even have a dedicated raven keeper.
That's a crazy job.
Interesting. Yeah.
You have a lot of
Driving on the
fun.
left. The UK is one of the few countries in the world where people drive on the left side of the road.
Oh, I thought they all did that.
I did too, and then we were in Italy and they drove on the right side, so we
Oh,
found out we
really?
were wrong. Yeah.
Mm.
Iconic red phone boxes. The classic red telephone box was designed in 1924 by Sir Giles Gilbert Scott.
Love that.
Although phone boxes are less common now, many of them have been preserved and repurposed as tiny libraries, mini museums, or even defibrillator stations. That's interesting.
It's a
That's a good use of them.
defibrillator.
Like, if you have a heart attack,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
But they have one of those in the England pavilion at Epcot.
They do.
Yeah.
I've taken a picture in it
Yeah.
to do the One
Okay.
Direction
Oh,
thing.
we're moving on to Ireland, land of castles. Ireland is home to over 30,000 castles and castle ruins, from grand fortresses like Blarney Castle with its famous stone to small mysterious ruins scattered across the countryside. Wow, so they were building a lot of castles over there. No snakes in Ireland. Legend has it that St. Patrick banished all snakes from Ireland, but in reality, the island's cool climate and isolation likely prevented them from ever being there.
He banished them, like
I
told them,
see.
don't come back.
Yeah. He was a saint. So. I mean, he became a saint later, I guess. That doesn't make sense. Halloween's Irish roots. See, Halloween, or Samhain, originated as an ancient Celtic festival celebrated in Ireland. It marked the end of harvest season and the start of winter, when it was believed that the boundary between the living and the dead was blurred. Like I said, I
Mm,
always thought that had something to do with All Saints Day or All Souls Day, which is the day after November 1st. But
yeah.
apparently that's not true.
Ireland doesn't strike me as like, Halloween,
Yeah, no. Anyway, I would think of like Mexico maybe because of the whole Day of the Dead thing.
yeah.
Let's see. St. Patrick wasn't Irish. Well, we'll get to that in a second. The Titanic connection. The Titanic was built in Belfast, Northern Ireland, at the Harland and Wolff shipyard.
I think I've heard that before.
Yeah, I think it's on the ship. I think it has Belfast printed on the ship. I might be wrong. That could be an incorrect fact.
Pull up the
Check it
Titanic
out.
picture.
Yeah. St. Patrick wasn't Irish. St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, was actually born in Britain. He was brought to Ireland as a slave before returning to spread Christianity.
Oh my
Huh.
goodness.
Wow. Which is funny because you think of Patrick as such an Irish name, which I guess a lot of Irish people are named that because of St. Patrick. So
I was gonna say
it's a
St.
circular
Patrick.
reference. Longest place name in Ireland. Ireland's longest place name is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but it's a lot of letters. It's spelled Muckanagheder. I'm sorry, Hederdauhalia, a village in County Galway. Try saying that 5 times fast. I'm not even trying to say it once. Famous for leprechauns, leprechaun mischief, mischievous little fairy folk associated with pots of gold, Our
Very
popular
folk.
symbol, popular symbol of Irish folklore. However, they were originally viewed as cranky shoemakers, not the cheerful characters we know today.
I never really thought of
So,
them as cheerful.
the little guy from Lucky Charms. I mean,
Yeah, true.
well,
He's
then again, he was always kind of contrary because they're always after me, Lucky Charms, and he's running away from all the kids. So
yeah,
that's kind of
exactly.
that's kind of a
It's
cranky
not
thing.
really
Like
giving
just
cheerful.
let the kids have some cereal for crying out
Yeah,
loud.
yeah,
What's
yeah.
wrong with you?
Like, be happy you're not making shoes.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I also wonder about the connection between leprechauns and like gnomes, which are more what are they
I
from?
was just thinking like a Keebler elf. It
Keep,
was giving
then
me the
there's
same
elves too.
vibe
Yeah, there's
of
elves,
a luck.
gnomes,
Yeah.
and leprechauns. Like yeah. Who knows which one came first? You'll never know.
The
Let's see.
leprechaun.
Guinness galore. Guinness, Ireland's world famous stout, is brewed at St James Gate Brewery in Dublin, where it has been made since 1759. Arthur Guinness famously signed a 9,000-year lease for the site, securing its spot in Dublin for centuries to come. Wow, 9,000 years.
And they're still killing it.
Yeah, but that's a long time to sign a
9,000. How
contract.
much?
Wow,
9,000 years?
9,000 years.
Oh, sounds made up.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, like
Like,
what?
what's the purpose of
Who would
that?
allow you to agree to that? That's just silly. They must have had terrible lawyers
They
back
were.
then. Ireland's love for literature. Ireland has produced many literary giants, including James Joyce, Oscar Wilde, W.B. Yeats, and Samuel Beckett. Dublin is a UNESCO City of Literature, and there's even a national library dedicated to Irish writing. That's interesting. No native forests. Surprisingly, Ireland is one of the least forested countries in Europe, with only about 11% of the land covered by trees today.
I
This is
believe that.
largely due to centuries of deforestation.
A lot of the pictures,
Oh,
think about it, that you see of Ireland, it's just like
yeah, it's like fields.
fields and
Yeah,
fields of grass. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. So that's Ireland. And now, well, actually, this isn't last but least, but not least, because I got to go back and do the U.S. Um, or we could just do that maybe we could do another episode of that and do the states. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah.
Because it's the U.S. Everybody already knows the fun facts about here.
Because there's so many of
Indonesia, the world's largest archipelago.
them.
Yeah. Indonesia is made up of over 17,000 islands. Wow. About 6,000 of which are inhabited. Okay, I thought it was
Have
saying
you
they're
ever seen
uninhabited, but
videos
6,000
on?
are inhabited. So there's 11,000 islands over there that nobody lives on.
There's a lot of those videos I see on TikTok a lot of inhabited islands and like the ones that
You mean
like people
uninhabited?
or yeah,
That nobody lives on?
uninhabited islands that people can't even go on, not because there's like mostly just because of the the threats that are on there, like
Oh, really? Like,
the animals or
oh, wow.
deadly snakes, or some of them even have
Scorpions.
scorpion.
I just,
Animal
I
Crossing.
had an Animal Crossing moment.
Or there's like literally people on them sometimes,
Oh, okay. So they are inhabited. It's just they're
but by like
yeah,
the
yeah.
tribal
I
people
understand.
of that island that
Yeah.
they'll throw their bow and arrow at you or
Oh, wow.
whatever.
Are they like I would fear it would be like cannibals too that would
Oh, I mean
get
they
you and eat
might.
you.
Yeah, they only care about their
Yeesh,
people.
let's not think about that. um so yeah, that's interesting
Mhm.
though. Most active volcanoes. Indonesia has around 130 active volcanoes, more than any other country, as it sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's scary. I
Yeah,
wouldn't live somewhere like
I
that.
know, I know. Like, well, we talked before about like when we were in Italy, and there's a few volcanoes over there, and um, there was one that the ship was going by, I guess, that was going off the one night we were there, and we didn't see it because we weren't
But it
we weren't.
wasn't like flowing down the side
I
like
don't think so, but they could see like the glow from the lava at the top of it,
uh
and then a couple of weeks after we left, I think it was the volcano that's on Sicily
Mhm.
erupted, and I don't think it was like, it wasn't like,
Super
when
crazy.
Pompeii was wiped out or anything, but
Yeah.
it was it went off. So
That would make me
yeah, scary
panic.
stuff. Because you can't really run from it. There's nowhere to go.
And it'll take out everything in its sight.
Yeah. Uh, Home of the Komodo dragon, the world's largest lizard, the Komodo dragon,
Ah,
lives
no
on
thanks.
several Indonesian islands. See, that's why you don't want to go on some of those islands.
Mm-mm.
Uh, yeah.
Komodo
These
dragons.
lizards can grow up to 10 feet long and are known for their powerful bite. Boy, I wouldn't want to be around something that size that
That's
has a
literally
powerful
like an
bite.
alligator.
Oh, yeah, we have those here. I forgot about
Yeah,
For
sure.
fourth most populous country with over 270 million people, Indonesia is the fourth most populous country in the world after China, India, and the United States. Java, the most populated island, is home to over half of the country's population. So there's 6,000 islands there that have people on them, but one of them has most of them.
My goodness.
World's largest Muslim population. That's surprising. I didn't know that. Indonesia has the world's largest Muslim population of any country, with around 87% of its people identifying as Muslim. Despite this, it's a secular state, and many religions are practiced across the island. So that's interesting. Home of the world's largest flower, the Rafflesia,
Largest
is
flower?
also known as the corpse flower for its strong odor. Oh, it's native to Sumatra, and it can grow over 3 feet in diameter. Wow.
Wonder if it's like a stink bug.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, corpse. I wouldn't think that smells good. You know.
Corpse flower. Yeah, it probably smells like dead body. Because
Yeah.
why else would you name it a
Yeah.
corpse flower?
Yeah.
If it just attracts bugs, which
Right.
also don't want it near.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, with
Well.
3 feet wide, I'm sure it attracts a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have butterfly bushes that attract bees, but what are you gonna do? Um, let's see. Bahasa Indonesia is the national language. Uh, Indonesia has over 700 languages spoken across the island, but Bahasa Indonesia is the official language that unites this incredibly diverse nation. Hmm. So I wonder
Mm,
if everybody who's there speaks that and one of those other 700.
probably.
Uh, Batik tradition. Indonesia is famous for its traditional art of batik, and if I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. It's spelled Batik. A method of dyeing fabric with intrinsic designs using wax. In fact, UNESCO designated Indonesian batik as a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage of humanity. Interesting. I feel like I've seen that. I feel like I've seen a show where they showed people doing that or something like that.
Probably like that sounds like a one of those like Instagram late night Instagram
Yeah.
videos that pop up
Well,
on your
I'm thinking
feed.
I saw it like much way before Instagram, like when I was a
Oh
kid or
my
something like
goodness.
that. Yeah, I feel like I've seen. I don't know. I could be wrong. Rice terraces and coffee culture. Indonesia is a major coffee producer. Nice job, Indonesia. Known especially for its unique, kopi kuak or kivet coffee, which is made from beans that have passed through the kivet's digestive system. Oh, this is like the ones. It's also famous for stunning
Mm-mm.
rice terraces, particularly in Bali. Um, that's like there's that coffee that's supposedly a really expensive coffee
Mm-hmm.
that they feed the beans to elephants, and then they get it back out, and then they roast it.
No
No
way.
thanks.
No way. Why would you do that?
Apparently,
Like you're
well, so here's what I like. So they do it, right? It's a real thing. But why? Like, how did they discover that? Hey, this coffee. Like, was it
these
like?
coffee beans are good, but you know what we need for
Yeah.
them?
No, I feel like it was like an accident though. I feel like they had the coffee beans and maybe they were drying them out or whatever you do with coffee beans, and then some animal came along and ate them, and they were like, well, I hope they, well, no, they wouldn't have
I
killed
don't
it
want
because
those
it
to
had to
go
go
to
all the way through.
waste. We'll
Yeah,
just wait till he
well, we can't
passes it.
afford to let those go, so they waited for him to pass them and they rinsed them off, and then they sold them to somebody, and where the
Best
person
coffee
didn't
they ever
know, and they were
had.
like, "Wow, I got to get more of that coffee you had last time. That was amazing." And the guy was like, "Uh-oh."
That's
That's
crazy.
that again. That sounds like that could be how it happened. It also is an example of how random facts get created that aren't true.
Because you could have said that with so much
Yeah, yeah.
confidence, and
No,
it would
here's
have.
the story, and then I could have gone through all of that.
The thing is, when I hear a fact like that, I always want to. I was just gonna say before you said that they like had to pass the coffee bean through the digestive system
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
I was gonna be like, man, I would really love to try some coffee from a place like that, just like with the chocolate thing.
Right.
To try some coffee from a place like that
Yeah,
or Colombia
yeah.
to really see if I
Like
mean I know it's
the
better than
real
my K
deal.
cup
Yeah.
stuff, but
You know what? One thing I'll say when we were in Italy, the coffee not that good.
maybe it's just because we're not used to it.
Yeah, it that's exactly what it is. You like what you're used to, and it was different. And
Like they always
I
say
didn't.
that.
They sold what they called a cafe Americana, which
Mhm.
from what I can tell was just espresso watered down.
I think that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. Well, there we go. I'll take my Colombian coffee. I like Colombian.
Same.
Let's see. Barodabar Temple. Barodabar in Java is the world's largest Buddhist temple and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Built in the 9th century, it consists of 9 stacked platforms topped by a central dome, adorned with over 2,600 relief panels and 500 Buddha statues. That seems like a lot.
That is a lot.
Like, why so many? And that's the end of my facts. That's the end of my
Oh,
fun facts, which not all of them were that fun.
some of them were kind of fun.
Some of them were fun. Some of them were educational. There were a lot of educational facts, but apparently next time when I ask ChatGPT for fun facts, I have to tell it no fun facts.
Yeah,
Let's see what
like
it says.
whenever I use, you know how you can on ChatGPT, you can say like
Yeah,
something more fun,
yeah, yeah. I've done that. I've done that too. Um,
funny, maybe
yeah,
funny,
funny facts. Yeah, fun, but
funny,
like okay,
funny
the one
facts
about
about.
the one about the coffee going through that's kind of a fun fact because that's like a one of those things that if you tell somebody they'd be like, huh, you know,
That's kind of gross.
yeah. But yeah. So I think that was fun. Oh, that was wow. So here's
You're
a
in the
fun
dark
fact.
now.
At a certain time of the night, our smart home devices decide that it's time for everyone to go to bed, and they shut everything off. So that's what happened here. We
So,
did not have a power failure because one of the things it can't shut off is the lovely Christmas tree and the TV.
in our logo.
Well, it can, but we just don't let it. So
So on that note,
on
y'all.
that note, apparently it's time to go to bed. So go to bed.